My name is James Shepard, and today I wanted to make a video about building a local team of sub-agents. I've worked with a lot of agents as they build a team. I have built several times. I've built teams of sub-agents locally, and we're working on expanding that program here in my market right now. And I've really come across a couple ideas that I just wanted to share with you to help you in building a team. And I primarily wanted to send this out to agents on our team that are looking to build a team to kind of let you know what we bring to the table. First of all, there's a couple different strategies you can use when you build a local team. And one of the things that I've really learned lately is that if you invest in people, if you invest money in people and invest resources in people, you can build a very large local team really very quickly. I think many of you would be surprised. A lot of our agents are using a very an all commission model. It's kind of all over the place. And one of the things I want to encourage you to do is, if you have a little bit of money that you can kind of put aside for a program like this, I really believe it's a very effective marketing strategy for many of you that you may not have thought of in the past. And let me explain how it works. We have a different form of compensation. So number one, in order for this strategy to work that I'm describing to you, you need to have a physical location that is not your home. Okay. Now, I think many of you right now would be surprised if you actually went out in your local market and searched for a place to rent. I up until about a week ago, I was renting a two room, one large room and one smaller room office for $350 a month. Okay. Now it took a little digging to find a place like that. Currently, we have an office now we've moved to that's bigger than that, and it's in a better area, and so we're paying more than that. But you've got to have a physical location to work out of. Don't hire local sub agents until you have an office for them to come to report to every day. Okay. Now, here's what you want to do. Secondly, where do you find these sub agents? Okay. What you want to do is you want to go to places where you can find people who are not afraid to work and are not afraid to sell, but they're being underpaid. The most recent hire I did locally was an agent that was a top salesman at Best Buy. Now, he was working about 30 hours a week, and he was making about $300, in compensation. All right, every week. So, in my opinion, a top salesman making $300 a week is underpaid. Okay, so that was an opportunity for me. Another lady that I'm looking at, opening a new office with about 20 minutes away. She has gone from one network marketing company to the other, and every time she just gives it everything she has, but as happens many times with network marketing companies, she's just not making any money. And so, there's somebody, again, who's a top salesperson, a hard worker, but they're underpaid. So try to look for people that, both of those people are people that I know, through my own connections. And so look for people that you know first before you go putting an ad in the paper or whatever. Just try to find people that you know that are not afraid to work hard, okay? Then what you want to do is you got the physical location. Make sure that they have reliable transportation. That's a job requirement. Okay, you have to have reliable transportation. Okay. Then here's what you want to do, guys. You want to spend your money in order to buy accountability. Okay. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you're paying somebody 100% commission, you really don't have any grounds holding them very accountable, and they're usually going to be upset if you try to do that, okay? So don't hold them, really accountable if you're paying them straight commission, because it's like, how can you do that? But here's what I do, okay? I pay these new agents $300 a week, okay? $300 a week starting from the very first week, plus $50 to $100 per sale every week after the first sale. Okay, so in other words, if they get 2 sales in a week, they're going to make $350 to $400 that week. Okay, if they make 3 sales that week, they're going to make $400 or $500. Okay, then I also reimburse them for gas, and I get them a company cell phone. Okay, now the company cell phone is actually really, really important. Okay, the reason I do that, it costs me like $40 a month, and they have a very limited plan because they don't need a lot of minutes starting out. But the reason I have that is because if they quit, I want to take that cell phone back, and I want the next salesperson to get that same cell phone with that same number, right? Because I don't want them giving out their personal cell phone to people, because what if they quit? Then they're not going to have contact. So, so you want to set it up in that way, all right? Next, so we're paying them $300 a week plus $50 to $100 per sale after the first sale. Now, understand you're going to lose probably about $1,000 before you start to make a profit here, okay, as far as your payroll and your costs. Now, that's not including the utilities for the office and the office rent. Obviously you'd have to pay that in addition. So if you get an office for, let's say, $600 a month, you'd have to pay $1,200 up front in order to get that office, and then you'd pay $600 a month, plus your utilities might be another $200 a month. But then here's what you can do. That sub-agent, you pay them $300. Now, normally the first 2 weeks, they're not going to have any sales, okay? So you're going to lose $600 right there. Then they're going to have like one sale a week for probably 2 weeks. Then you're going to be able to get them up and going to where they're doing 2, 3 sales or more every week. And now you're going to be making a profit every week on the upfront money. And then we'll talk about residual here in just a second, okay? Now, here's the thing that's important about this, okay? If you're on our team, or if you'd like to join our team and talk to me about that, okay, we will put you into a special onboarding process that we have for our sales agents. Guys, I'll be honest with you, I've been doing this a long time, and it's not that these ideas I'm going to present to you, it's not that I'm some genius of thinking of these things. We have a team of people. Honestly, I fought back on a lot of these things, but our team, overpowered my ignorance in some of these areas and said, hey, we need to do it this way. And through trial and error over the last 4 years, here is the onboarding process we've come up with, and it works beautifully, and it actually works even better for local sub-agents, as I have found out recently with my own sub-agents. So we can get your sub-agents on our 6-hour live event that I do every week, okay? Now, I've gone to other processing companies and done this exact same training, and they've paid $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for this training for their agents. If you're on our team, you're going to get this training absolutely free, okay? Now, what I do is I put your sub-agents through a 3-hour training on Friday and then a 3-hour training on Monday. So we do it every week. So you hire them on, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and say, hey, your first day of work is Friday, and then, you start work on Monday. Friday is a training day. You start work on Monday. So you don't pay them for Friday. You pay them starting on Monday morning. So Friday from 10 to 1, they have a live training for 3 hours. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go through the basics of merchant services, talk about, the big players in the industry. We're going to look at credit card processing statements. We're going to talk about effective rates. We're going to talk about equipment, what's the difference between a reprogram and a lease or free equipment or whatever, and kind of go through some different equipment options with them. Now keep in mind, no specifics. I'm not going to give them specifics about compensation or residual or anything like that, because again, if they're sub-agents, I don't want them to know, because some of our independent agents would also be on that training as well, okay? Then on Monday morning, we spend 3 hours from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. going through how to sell merchant services. And so we spend 3 hours giving them very specific tips on how to prospect out in the field, things of that nature, okay? Their opening pitch, rebuttals and objections, how to do follow-ups, how to do callbacks. I mean, we cover all of it. I will send you the PowerPoint presentation so you can review it with your team throughout the week and cover maybe a few slides every day and review with them, okay? Now, here's the great thing about it, guys. If you're on our team and you say, hey, you know what, James, you call me up and, hey, James, you know what, I want to do this. I want to start a team of local agents. I've got, you probably need a couple $1,000s in the bank in order to bring on one sub-agent. You probably need $3,000 in the bank to bring on 2 sub-agents. You probably need $4,000 or $5,000 in the bank to bring on 3 sub-agents, okay? And I wouldn't bring on any more than 3. I'd bring on between 1 to 3. If you've never done it before, just bring on one person. Trust me on that. Just bring on one person. You'll be shocked at how much it will increase the productivity of your office, okay? Now, here's what you do with that one person, okay? So they complete the training on Monday. Monday afternoon at like 2 o'clock, you go out in the field with them from like 2 to 4 for a couple hours, okay? Then the next day on on Tuesday, you go out in the field with them again from 9 to 11, and then you guys take a little break, and then maybe you get some other work done, and then you go back out again in the afternoon for a few hours. Okay, so just spend those half a day on Monday and the whole day on Tuesday out in the field with that one sub agent. Okay, and just show him how you pick a street and you walk into every business on that street, and then show him how you have a focus. This is very important. You got to make sure that you show him that you have a focus on obtaining credit card processing statements. That's his job. His job is not to make sales. His job is to get credit card statements. If he's going to have to make sales as well, but that's going to come later. Right now, his job is not to make sales. His job is to get credit card statements. Okay, very, very important that you make that distinction with him. Okay, and tell him, hey, when you get statements, I'm going to help you make these sales, but I have to have the statements in order to get it done. Okay, all right. Now, next, here's the other thing that you do. Okay, the job requirement is very, very simple. Okay, let me explain this to you. Okay, there are no sales requirements with this job. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Okay, there's one requirement, just one. They have to be in the field for 30 hours a week. Okay, they have to be in the field for 30 hours a week. Now, we have a new technology that we're using. I'm not going to give the details because I'm putting this publicly on YouTube. If you want to know more about it, you can contact me directly, okay? And I will be glad to share it with you. If you will pay our company our cost, which is going to be around $50 a month per sub-agent, okay, we will provide you with a technology where you can track GPS monitoring of your agents with them using the smartphone that you provide to them. Okay, there's an app on the smartphone. It's a custom program that we are putting together here with another couple vendors, and it ties in with the CRM database. So they can go out in the field and it's like they're checking in at every store, and this phone, this application will tell you at the end of the day a report that says this is how many stops your agent made, how many miles they drove, which businesses they went to, all of that, and it's all geocoded into the CRM database. So you don't have to wonder, is this guy out selling or not? You will know for sure because it's going to be right there in front of you, and it's only going to cost you, again, I'm going to do it at my cost. So we're going to charge you about $50 a month. Again, we're still working out finalizing the deal. Could be a little more, a little less, but it's going to be around $50 a month per agent, and I'm going to give that to you at our cost to help you manage your team of sub-agents better. Okay, so their requirement is to work 30 hours a week. Now let me tell you something, okay? If you hire somebody that is warm and breathing air and they work 30 hours a week every single week, they are going to make 10 or 12 sales for you every month. Okay. Now they got to spend 30 hours a week in the field. Now, of course, they're going to have to do, administrative tasks, follow-up calls, things like that. But the idea is they're going to be out in the field meeting new business owners or following up on business owners for 30 hours every single week. Okay. Now, if they don't work for 30 hours a week, they do not get paid. If they make 2 or 3 sales that week, it doesn't matter, because if they don't work 30 hours a week, eventually you're going to lose money. So the requirement is you have to work 30 hours a week. Make that the requirement. Then here's the thing: they get statements. When they bring the statements in, here's what you can do, and this is the amazing thing about it, guys. We will manage those sub agents for you. Okay, just like as if they were our agents. Okay, they can send those statements into Joshua Kidd. Joshua Kidd will help them with the cost analysis, because again, guys, we still get our same cut because these sub agents are under you, so you're taking part of their compensation, but we get, North American Banker gives us a cut out of their profits, right? So we get the same cut. So if you hire 3 sub agents, we get the same cut on you and those 3 agents as we would if it was just you. So we'll do our onboarding process, and we'll provide support, motivation, training, all these things for those agents. Okay, and we will help them out with their statement analysis and with all that stuff. And so you can just utilize us. We'll key in sales for you. We'll do all that. So it's really a great opportunity for you guys. All you really need is 2 things. Okay, you need a little bit of money. Okay, to do this. You got, like I said, you need $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in the bank to make this work, and you need enough money to pay your monthly rent, etc. Okay. But you should have $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in the bank to do this, okay? And then if you have that money in the bank, or if you have more than that and you have whatever, you want to go bigger than that, that's fine. And then also you need the ability to manage people. And many of you have already done this in the past for other companies. And again, you're going to be helped because we're going to be providing all kinds of additional management resources to you, and we're going to be providing you with a resource to GPS track your agent. So it's not like at the end of the day you have to wonder what they did. You're going to get a report every single morning that's going to say, here's what they did, here's where they went, here's how long they were in the field, here's what time they left their house, here's what time they got back, whatever. Then they can come into the office. You can actually go out there with them in the field, help them close deals. Okay. Now, one last thing. Let's talk about residual ownership and how that works. Okay. Here's how it works. Okay. So let's back up for a second. So compensation. All right. They get $300 a week, regardless of whether they make sales or not. Okay. But they get $300 a week. And the minimum expectation is that they need to work 30 hours a week. Once they've been selling for you for a month, they have to get at least one sale a week to keep their job. Okay, and eventually you want to really get that up to 2 or 3 sales a week as kind of at least 2 sales a week as a requirement. But again, for the first month, they don't have to make any sales. You're just trying to get them going. And trust me, they're going to make a few sales. They're going to fall on a couple sales. I mean, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. I mean, if you're out there for 30 hours a week in the field, you're going to get some sales. But they go for a month. So then the job requirement is you got to work 30 hours in the field, verified by GPS. So again, if they don't use if they're like, well, what if they don't turn their phone on? Don't pay them. Okay? It's a job requirement, guys. It's a job requirement. The requirement is you have to use the app on your phone and you have to work 30 hours a week in the field. So you simply make that a job requirement for them. Okay? Then when we talk about our residual income, what we do in residual is this. Okay? You start out doing the $300 a week. Okay, then what will happen is, so that's $1,200 a month in salary. Now, once you get up to the point where their residual, which is 25% of the gross margin, so the total profit generated by an account, 25% of that is going to go towards residual that they own. Once that residual income stream reaches the $1,200 level, it replaces the other money that you were paying out, if that makes sense. So again, let me kind of explain this for a second. Okay, so you have a new agent, all right, you say, hey, I'm going to pay you $300 a week. For the first month, there's no sales requirement. You just need to get me statements. After that, there's going to be at least a 1 sale per week requirement, and then it's going to eventually climb to 2 sales a week pretty quickly, where you have to get that to keep your job. Okay, but the primary requirement is working 30 hours a week in the field, and your goal is to collect processing statements, especially that first month. That's your only goal. Okay, then what you tell them is, look, you have an opportunity to have ownership in this business and in this kind of branch. Okay, the way it works is, you pay, right now I'm paying you $300 a week, which is $1,200 a month in salary. Once your residual of 25% of the gross profit, once that hits $1,200 a month, which will take you between 9 months to a year, so within 1 year from now, you could actually have ownership of $1,200 a month in income, and from there, every month it's going to grow by $100, $200, $300 every month. It's going to grow to the point where a couple years from now, you could be at $3,000 or $4,000 a month in residual income. Okay, and so give them an opportunity to have ownership. That way, your best sales agents have something to look forward to. You certainly don't want to train and train and train and then lose people. So give them that opportunity to have ownership, and of course, you would still get your portion of the residual to cover your cost and give you a profit, as well as the upfront money. To do that as well. So I just kind of wanted to roll that out there, guys. That's kind of a new direction that we're going in. And what I'm really looking for right now is I'm looking for partners who want to open up, CC Biz Pro offices like that in your local community. And guys, I don't know any other way to tell you other than I promise you guys, if you set up an office, a CC Biz Pro office in your area with sub-agents, no one out there in the industry is going to provide a tenth of the support and resources that I'm going to provide and that my company is going to provide to you. So if you're thinking about recruiting a team of sub-agents, you would be crazy not to partner with us. I mean, honestly, you'd be crazy. We're going to give you the training that everybody wants, but nobody has. Okay, we're going to provide it to you for free for your agents. Understand, guys, the 6-hour live training that I do every week, nobody gets that unless they're on our team. You cannot buy it. If somebody called me and said, I'll pay you $1,000 to train one of my agents on the 6-hour training, I would say no. It is exclusive to our team only. So if you get on our team, your sub-agents are going to get free access to the training. They're going to get free access to Joshua Kidd, to Melody Campbell, to Jonathan Ruiz, to Paul Boyce, to Matt Price. I mean, we have this huge team set up in place, a leadership team that your agents are going to have access to, and so they're going to be able to, gain free access to all these people to support them. And then on top of that, you're going to have all of our processes in place. if one of you guys is, I'm sure several of you are going to do this, and if you open an office and you get up to where you're doing 20 deals a month with your office, I promise you I will be on the phone with you on a regular basis, and I will help you build the infrastructure that you need, and I will pay for a lot of the stuff that you need. So if you're like, James, we really need, to integrate, MailChimp with the CRM database that you provided, okay? We'll do that for free. James, we really need a website. We need a local presence here, and we need to know how to use the website. We need some content. I'll do that for you for free. So whatever it is that you need in order to get this thing going, I will do for you. So call me up. Now, again, guys, don't call me if you're part-time right now in the industry and you don't have any money and, whatever. You need to build a portfolio first and get some residual going. But if you've got some money in the bank and you are doing this thing full time, you're pretty good at it, and you're like, I think it's time for me to branch out a little bit and do the sub-agent model. I've worked with literally dozens of agents to build teams, and we know how to do that now. We have great resources behind it. We have great training behind it, and so I look forward to working with you on that. So give me a call sometime if you have any questions about it. My phone number is 814-515-9526, or you can shoot me an email, james@ccsalespro.com. I'd be glad to help you get your team of local sub-agents up and going. All right? Thank you guys very much, and hope you have a wonderful week.